Recently, I was sitting with a bride and a groom planning their wedding. And we were having a great talk about their whole story, how they met, where their first date was, how they got engaged. And then I was asking them to give me some more detail about their families. And that's when the bride told me that her mom is sick, that she has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And so the bride, on top of planning this wedding, is driving 90 minutes one way, 3 times a week, to go be with her mom and help her. When I talked to her a little bit about her work, what she does, the bride told me, well, right now I have 3 jobs, and they were exhausting to hear about. Big jobs. She said, but I'm trying to have as much money to share with my mother as possible while she's dealing with all of these bills and can't work. And I said, how old is your mom? And she said, 62. Nothing makes that okay. There's no bright side to that. And that's part of how we know it's the cross. It's how we know that what we're being asked to carry is the cross. It's first of all that nothing can make it okay. Nothing makes the cross okay. There's no such thing with the cross as saying, well, look at the bright side. You don't really get to say that on Good Friday. Look at the bright side, somebody might say to the bride. At least you're getting married. At least you're in love. Doesn't sound right. That's not really comforting. There's nothing that makes it okay. And that bride is not the only one who experiences things like that. A lot of times after Mass, people will say to me, Father, my children have told me that they've decided not to have our grandchildren baptized. Nothing makes that okay. I can't say to somebody, look at the bright side. That's the cross, when it's beyond your control. The other trait of a situation that lets you know this isn't just a hardship, this is actually the cross, is if there's no way for you to look good while you go through it. There's no way to make it look like, oh, I meant to do that. It's always a disaster. That's how you know that something like addiction, where you lose your job and your reputation, is the cross. It's why tragedies that we sometimes go through are the cross. There's no way to look composed while you go through it. Anytime anyone sees you, they're going to see somebody who is in the middle of or just concluded or is about to have an ugly cry. They're seeing someone who can't fix their reputation, maybe, and what they're going through. The way you know it's the cross is that it's not okay, and you can't play it off and look good while you're going through it. Jesus didn't look good on Good Friday. He didn't look like God on Good Friday. He looked like he'd been defeated. He looked completely overwhelmed, like evil had won and had gotten the last laugh. When we're dealing with the cross, we don't get to take a victory lap afterwards. So then the question is, what are we supposed to do? When what we're dealing with in our life is the cross, when it's what Jesus was speaking of when he said, take up your cross and follow me, then we have to figure out, how do we do what we're supposed to do with it? Jesus actually shows us that. He shows us that you must use it. He used it. There's no limit to what we can do with the cross. Jesus used it to save the world. But we have to use ours too. We can't necessarily save the world. He alone could do that. But we can help the world. And as one author says it, we have to know that any pain that we have is meant to be turned into medicine for others. We're supposed to turn our pain into medicine. The way in the first reading, they turned the venom from the serpent into a symbol of healing. There's a woman that I know who told me that her life was ruined by addiction. She lost her job. The county took her kids and put them into foster homes. She lost her self-respect. And then she told me, but now I've been sober for 15 years. And 5 people have me as their sponsor. I'm the one they call in the middle of the night when everything is going wrong. And my kids, who are now adults, admire me. They love that I got them back from foster care and that I cleaned up my life. They point to me as an example that they love bragging about to their friends. That's using the cross. That's using it and not letting it stop you. It's taking that and turning the pain into medicine. One famous saying that really sums this up is, if you're going through hell, don't leave empty-handed. If life has you going on a path straight through hell, be sure not to leave empty-handed. Be sure that somehow that pain can be turned into medicine. That humiliation someday won't feel like humiliation anymore. It'll feel like compassion for others. This time of year at St. Mary's, we always do the Apostles' Creed. We don't do it all year long, just for part of the year. Other parts of the year we do the Nicene Creed, and other parts of the year we do the baptismal questions, call and response. But the Apostles' Creed has something in it that no other creed has that's really important. It says, Jesus was crucified, died, and was buried. And then he descended into hell. A lot of people say, Father, why does it say he descended into hell? Well, we know he was gone for 3 days, Friday, Saturday to early Sunday morning. We say he died, but 3 days later he rose. And the Apostles' Creed holds one of our earliest beliefs that during those 3 days, he went to hell. And he didn't go there to leave empty-handed. The cross is hell. It's the kind of thing that nothing can make okay. It's the kind of thing that you can't look good while you're going through it. But we can leave with medicine that we can give to the world. And Jesus did not leave hell empty-handed. Belief of the apostles is that Jesus opened the gates of hell from the inside. He busted them open. And he said to everybody, let's get out of here. Come with me. I will show you the way to salvation. He said, my cross has busted down the doors of this place. He brought everybody out with him. Everybody who was there before he had saved the world. He didn't want them to be left out. It's called the harrowing of hell, and it's one of the earliest Christian beliefs. We often don't talk about it because it's hard to talk about. It's hard to put this into words for our kids. There's no Bible storybooks about this. But it's exactly what we're talking about today. Jesus' cross has led us out of hell. That's what salvation means. That's what it feels like. And it means that if he can do that, then everything that we're facing with our cross can also be redeemed, can also be turned into medicine. We can't save the world, but we don't need to. He already did that. But we can help and save others with our gift of healing. A woman once told me that she has a very special private moment at Mass. Every time the gifts are brought forward at Mass, there's that point where the priest mingles the water and the wine. And during that, we say a prayer saying that we're asking that we will be able to receive the divinity of Christ just as he has mingled his divinity with our humanity. But the woman says, in my very private prayer, she said, I think about the fact that his wine, the wine of his divinity, is about to become blood. And it's the blood of the cross. So she said, during that prayer, I make my suffering the water. I picture everything I'm going through is in the little water pitcher. And so when the priest mixes the blood of Christ with the water of humanity, I put my suffering with his, so that that also is part of the sacrifice. It's like she's saying, I can't make this okay. This is the stuff I'm going through that doesn't make any sense. But God, can I use it to make it matter? This week we're being asked, when have we been in hell? When have we gone through hell in life? Most of us have. If you're of a certain age, you probably know the difference between a difficulty or a setback and actually the cross, going through hell. Question is, what do we do with it? Can you point to how going through that somehow was later able to help ease the burden of somebody else? And maybe a good follow-up question to that is, if we haven't yet experienced that, what can we yet do with that pain? How could it yet be turned into medicine for someone? It's okay to say, none of this was okay. I can't make sense out of any of this. And I don't look good when I look back at my life going through that. But I can yet use it to participate with Jesus in making the world a more beautiful place. That's what he did. With the ugliest thing that ever happened, he used it to make the world a beautiful place. What was a horror actually saved the world. So what about you and me? How can we yet turn our pain into medicine?